are here live together with Joey Suki. You know him of his collab with Kill the Boss he did recently. And
Yep,
on the
yep,
other
yep.
hand, you have Jay Hardway, infamously known for his brand new live set, which looks awesome. I gotta Jay.
Melodic Rave.
Tell us, you're totally revamped, man.
Yes.
It's awesome. Tell us a
Oh,
little
thanks.
bit about it.
It's called Melodic Rave. I've been talking about it for months, but talking only goes so far in the artist world. So I wanted to show what it is about and show what the new music is about and where I'm at with the music now. And that's the live set that's now on YouTube, and it's
I
evolving
can
from there.
compliment. It looks amazing.
But now it sounds terrible,
Hey,
but it looks amazing.
exactly. But you got 50-50, so I already got the
No,
first 50.
it's just a little bit of
Um,
banter. To be honest, also, I gotta compliment you on the whole socials,
Yep.
living up to it, loading it.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
I like
Yeah,
it.
appreciate
It's
it.
like you actually put a thought to it. Like you had a plan.
He
Well,
can think.
this is the thing, and it's like it's a good lesson for everyone. Just put something like this on your calendar and work towards it, and then you don't even have to think about. Well, I didn't even have to think about literally like I'm planning these posts. It's just like, hey, Friday is the set, or next week's the set. Like I'm gonna. It just comes natural because you have that target on the
Yeah,
horizon. And I think that goes even for a track. You're like, hey, next week Friday I'm gonna finish this track, or this week Friday. You make sure you do it. You put a deadline and you go for it. And with this thing as well, just you yeah, you think of a goal and start making it happen. And I think
dude, I feel
just do,
like a Jedi master, and
just do.
the Padawan is becoming a master. I'm
Yep.
so proud right now. And hey, and also the
I'm
result is there. Yeah, I made it a little bit about me right now. I know, but no, it's really amazing. I really
while
like.
uh, while we're giving compliments. I was checking back last week's episode. Um, First of all, Ralph, how did you manage to not show up last minute? Almost. That's
I did.
almost
I showed up really last minute.
45 minutes in or something.
I know. Better late than never. I always say.
Jay never worked so hard as
Hey,
those 45 minutes.
I was
I've
falling
seen a
apart.
man
I was
sweating.
slowly falling apart, and I didn't
Yeah.
show it, but I was
If
panicking.
there wasn't this chat, if there wasn't a live chat who kind
Yeah,
of helped him through it,
yeah.
it would have been a disaster. But
no,
you
a
guys did a
big
great job.
no kudos to Jopke. He carried the team, and
Yep. Yep.
also who's here right now? Let's say hello to
Yeah.
all the listeners right now.
What's up, Ben Singh, Bittree Music, Avard, Job Govers, Atalo, Lion Harris, Latke Music, Emma Vargas, 12 Des. What's up, everyone? Good to have you all back. As you can see, we're complete again. It's been a few weeks, but we finally managed to be together again.
Yeah.
As you can hear, my mic probably sucks,
Yes.
but I found out at the start of the recording that my sound card died, so I have to figure that out. I might have. You have a USB mic, Ralph, right?
I have a USB mic. Yes.
Yeah, I'm considering getting either a USB mic or a new sound card.
Just get a new sound card, I
Oh
guess.
yeah, I would get a new sound
Yeah,
card either way. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I have to now.
this
It's
is not the best mic there is.
no, like the mics I have are also not that great, but they're fine.
No.
So I have to
But
check. I
for the
do.
rest, we're very serious about this podcast. For the rest,
Like high tech, big
Sound isn't that
invest.
important, man.
yeah,
How you sound on a podcast, it's not that
It's
important.
it's the message that counts. Anyway, that's the reason why my mic probably sounds so
But if you
sucky.
want to hear Joey in full HD and also even see him, we are hosting the retreat in May,
Nice link.
beginning of
I
May.
You even linked
Um,
it last week. I was like, my man,
Yeah, we need
you
to sell
plugged it.
some more tickets, man. We're gonna go bankrupt on this. No,
Almost,
but
yeah.
we have a few spots left on the artist coaching retreat. It has a fancy name, but I forget it every time. But
Beach
artist
and
coaching
brand retreat.
beach and beach
Beach.
and
We're
And
going
brand.
to the beach.
Beach. Well, I hope the weather is nice.
the beach
Yeah,
and
me
Um,
too.
brand.
but we're hosting this event where we're gonna dive deep into, well, if you're listening, your brand if you're coming, and we're gonna have an
And
awesome
your
time
beats.
at the Bass Jacker Studios, checking out music, checking out your profile, and just going through all of it with professional A&Rs present. And I think it's gonna be three, 2.5. It's 2 nights. It's gonna be
Yeah,
very fun. So there's still tickets left. I just wanted to have that
yeah.
mentioned.
I think. Let me check, because I started confirming everybody last week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are confirmed, and I'm waiting for one last person to confirm. So we're 6. So there's like, let's say two
Oh,
spots
that's
open.
pretty sick. Yeah, and if
That's
it's
sick,
six,
yeah.
it's okay too. I think
Yeah,
the mission is that we really give some attention. It's not going to be like
Yep.
this
The
mass
maximum is
event.
8, I think. So
Yeah.
if you want to come, if you're having doubts, just do, man. Just
just
do.
2. Yeah, it's as you said. It's kept at 8 persons because otherwise it just gets too busy. It's that we only have a few spots. So I just put the link in the live chat, and I'll also put it in the description of this episode. So if you're interested,
We started talking about this before summer break last year, I can remember. We've been talking about it so long and been finalizing and thinking about how this should be. And I
Yep.
yeah,
think it's going to be really cool and really worthwhile.
yeah, it's
And
gonna be fun.
yeah. Hey, also, some other thing, what I really like, whenever I'm on the socials, I was at Jopke's socials and I saw people from the artist coaching also commenting,
Yep.
Yeah,
and I really like it. It was like, hey, I know him, I know her, and it was like these acquaintances I saw,
Yep.
and but also got me thinking. I mean, we're a community. It's really good to see that everybody's supporting each other, and it's not been New Year's. You know, I don't like New Year's resolutions. I do resolutions all year long. And whenever I will see somebody of the community, I will start following them and also comment here and there. I think it helps, and we should
yeah.
be on the lookout for each other and
Yep.
do all that kind of
I
stuff.
actually, I had
It
someone in.
helps.
I had someone at the office this morning, which you all know, and I can't mention his name, but he was one of the guys who owned one of those infamously forums and blogs from back in the days.
Hmm.
Um, and we also talked about the power of community. That it's pretty insane that even like almost 20 years later, people still talk about those forums, right? Like that, there's such this where all these people came together to talk about music and share ideas and build relationships, and even till today, it's still very strong.
Yep.
But yeah, it's as you said, Ralph, like small little bridge to one of the things
I
that is
think
happening in the
I,
Discord right now, because we started the challenge last week, not last Monday, but the one before that. We started the 15-day music challenge in the Discord. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to Mikey Foden, Brian Andrade, Dutlow, Intrust, John and Mr. Smith, because you all have been rocking it so far. You're still on it and you're still in the challenge, posting every day, showing us the music. So shout out to them for being part of the challenge and participating that heavily. It's great to
hmm,
see.
yeah, nice. Yeah, I think
Um,
back in the day, because we are old, if you didn't
we're
hear
old,
that
yeah.
yet. Ralph's not old, sorry. Ralph's young. He
Talk for
listens to
yourself, man.
the cool kids music. He's
Ralph
he's
doesn't
he's
age.
awesome. Joey and
Nice.
me were old.
Finally,
No, but
some
back in the
acknowledgement.
day, it wasn't like you could contact all your friends all the time. It was through text message or maybe phone call, but usually you had to walk to their door and say hi. And then forums came around, and it was like you met people, you were friends with people that you have never met, which was really special. And then, like, if you met in real life, it was also like really awkward. Like, who are you? Yeah, I'm Mike. And then, yeah, but what's your username? Because otherwise, I can't I can't tell who you are. Oh, you're that guy. We had loads of conversations. And then you realize you're already friends while you've never met.
Yeah,
But that's I think the power of the community. And I think that's what we're trying with artist coaching is not just like, hey, listen to us, but just, hey, get in that Discord and talk to each other, because that's where you're gonna find like, well, you're gonna find growth for your career, but also you're gonna find friends, online friends.
We're
And
not
I think,
trying, we're doing.
of course, yeah, but that's like, yeah, same thing for
I get
me.
what you're saying.
Same.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
hey guys, Ultra Miami this week. What are your expectations? What do you expect to happen
Um,
this week?
Yeah, I wonder which sets I'm gonna look at. I think the main stage. I have to say I'm not the most excited about the main stage. I'm just curious what they will bring. There's a lot of names that are already there for so long, so it's exciting to see what they will bring, and I hope it's something new. And other stages are, yeah, have the cooler names, I guess. So I'm more excited about how the live stream, what you can access and which stages. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if there are if there will be some surprises. It looks like it's going to be what we expected that it's going to be, and I'm wondering if we might be surprised positively, um, because like
Yeah.
some who says it in the Ben Singh says it that Garrix and Alesso will be special. I hope he says that might be nice.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really wondering what they will do because I think what they do normally is not that far apart.
Hmm.
So in what way will it be special? Probably they will have yeah, with 2 or 3 new tracks together, I think. But it's only an hour, I think. Yeah, 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 if it's all the hits combined, then it actually will be awesome because Alesso has the hits and Martin Garrix as well.
Hmm.
But then you can just also program either somewhere, and it's not something new.
Yeah.
I'm really curious what kind of new stuff they will bring, and will it be groundbreaking or revisiting old times?
Yeah. Same.
And I hope
Oh,
groundbreaking, of course.
me too. Me too. Hey guys, last week I was listening to you in the episode, and you mentioned something which I really liked, and I think we're gonna give that a try today, if it works.
Oh no.
Uh, you guys talked about bringing people who are in the chat right now, bringing them into the episodes live, so that we can actually talk to them instead of like seeing the chat. I actually thought it was a great idea, which seems possible with the software that we use. So we're gonna check if we can drag some of you in the actual episode today. If you're up for that, let me see. What's the best way to do this? Yeah, if you're up for
we
that,
we prepared for weeks for this moment, people. Just
no, we didn't. We don't prepare. It's trial by error. If you're up for that, if you have a question that you want to ask us in real life in the episode, make sure to
Yeah,
drop the Instagram link in the
and
chat.
it's the
Your Instagram.
chance. It's the
Yeah,
chance to tell us a little bit about yourself, your
yeah,
perhaps career, and why you are listening, and why you're part of the artist coaching community. We're very excited about that. So yeah, hit us up.
yeah. So if you're interested, make sure to drop your Instagram link in the chat so we can DM you the link, and then you're able to join us in the live stream. We'll pick. Yeah, let's start with one, and we'll see where it goes. We also go to the community questions afterwards. Fun times, always,
Always.
always. How far did you get with the questions last week? Because I saw. I'm not sure which one you all
I think we did
answered.
all.
All of them.
I think so.
So the last one was the one from Gastrop.
It's nap time today.
Yeah, the last one was the van Hop, gas erop.
Gastrop. Okay, so Mikey Froden is
But gas
first.
erop wasn't part of the last week. So gas erop is a new one.
Oh, he wasn't. Okay, yeah, 21st. Oh, yeah, that's 4 days ago. Okay, so that's the first one. Okay, it's
I
good to
have
know.
to yawn now as well.
That
If
means you're
you,
not a psychopath.
that's true.
Oh, I'm
Amazing.
not.
This is how you find out. If you
Okay.
yawn and you don't get, if you see other people yawn and you don't get the yawn reflex, you might be a psychopath. And the
Hmm.
thing is, 1 in 10 people is actually has like psychopathic traits.
Well, Joey didn't
No,
yawn.
having no empathy is
Hey, Joey didn't yawn. He makes us yawn.
true. Yeah.
You also mentioned that I was becoming a suit last week. Let's double tap on that.
Did I?
And what kind of
Ralph
context?
Ralph mentioned it. I think it was at the start where you joined the episode, and you guys were talking about the fact that it was nice that I wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was
Because I
nice and
always
quiet.
put you in the
You
corner and
yeah, exactly, man. Yeah,
yeah,
that's and yeah, you're this manipulative host, and you're putting us in a corner.
I
We
just want
want
to
to
get
be free.
opinions.
We are artistic, and you're a suit.
Hmm. We are artistic. Okay. Okay. I'll uh,
Artistic and autistic at the same time.
I'll take that into consideration. But for now, I have something to put you guys in the corner.
Uh,
A statement which both of you can react on. Um, Producers that make every genre impress other producers but confuse their audience.
yeah, it
Um,
depends on what kind of quality they make.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
do you
yeah,
think it is possible to um, become a successful artist with creating multiple genres under the same name?
DJ Snake did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he had like a massive hit. Like if you have one massive hit, and I'm talking like
But it's
worldwide number
possible.
one,
I mean, he had
it's
multiple. I mean, his album with Middle and the
yeah,
thing
but
with
that all
Justin
came
Bieber,
after.
they were great.
But that all came after. Snake was first. What was his hit?
Break down of the now, hold
Get
down
Low.
for what?
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
Oh
Turn
yeah,
down for
turn
what?
down for
no,
what?
And
turn down for
if
what?
you have a hit like that,
Cool song.
worldwide number one, you have way more of a attention on you, so you can get away with different styles. I think.
No, but he actually he then did propaganda as well, which was
No,
really hard
I
and
mean, yeah,
awesome.
but he did amazing tracks, and
Yeah.
all like amazing quality. But I'm
But
just saying, like,
nowadays it's harder. It's not the same playing field anymore, and to be honest, the whole dance scene moved away from the pop scene quite a lot.
Mm,
true,
yeah,
very true.
like
Yeah,
ten like in the EDM
that's
bubble, the
actually
pop scene kind of merged with EDM, and now it's kind
Yeah,
of
it's totally loose. That's actually funny because like the Dutch radio has really turned bad. I think. I mean, I think it was always a bit better, and now I don't ever listen to radio, but then sometimes in my car it's on, and then I hear what they're playing, and I'm like, this is not the
yeah.
stuff
But
that's
for
being played on festivals.
who's still listening to radio? I
Just
mean,
people in the car.
I do.
I
People in
know,
the
but
car.
who's yeah, but dude, you do.
I try to be
But
No, but I'm
diversified,
saying, no,
Ralph.
but I'm just trying to say, I don't really listen to radio, but it's just it's so not what is happening in the dance
no, no,
scene
but I
being played on
think
radio.
the biggest demographic is the a little bit older people. I
Mm,
think younger people they tend to they have you can listen to SoundCloud. It's on. I mean, Apple CarPlay actually really facilitates you listening
Yeah.
to a lot of stuff. Of course, Spotify, all those streaming services. You can listen as SoundCloud. You can listen to sets in your car. You have the podcasts. Hello,
mm.
everybody. This is the podcast, the artist coaching podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
All that kind of stuff. It's like the competition for radio has
I
grown
think radio was
immensely.
yeah, but radio was always a bit behind, but now they're just on a total different
No,
track.
no, but
It's like
they're
something else,
facilitating. I think people.
different crowd.
Yeah, from 35 and then upwards. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I must say what I like about radio. I listen to it every now and then, but I mostly listen to it when I'm just done curating myself. You know, I just sometimes it's just nice to hear people talk about nothing, play music that's not that
You're
special.
you're you're saying the exact thing that I hate about radio. It's like people talking and it's all bullshit. It's very low
It
hanging
is.
fruit entertainment.
Yeah, but
Maybe I'm
I
gonna get
only
some hit
listen
for
to
this.
business
This is
news
the thing.
radio. Yeah.
I I respect a lot of radio DJs, and especially the ones that were like very supportive and like pushing genres a little bit. And like I remember at Slam FM, used to be like, or still is maybe like the channel that pushed boundaries. They were like, hey,
Yeah,
let's bring EDM
Yeah.
artists on, and everybody was like, no, that's not being played on the radio. And they were the first ones to play records.
I
But
never
a lot of
liked the
other
commercial
radio
radio
stations are,
stations like Q Music or 538. Also, the DJs, they didn't have the freedom to play whatever they liked,
yeah,
you know.
true,
There's
true,
this playlist, and
yeah,
they had to facilitate that being heard. But at Slam FM and also a little bit 3FM, that's the Dutch radio stations. I mean, you have the in Studio Brussels in Belgium, which is
mm.
pretty
Yeah.
authentic.
Atalo in the chat says that Top Radio in Belgium also does a great job.
Yeah,
I've never heard of
I
it.
like it when also what's nice about radio or any medium that you're not in control is that you get fed stuff that you wouldn't listen to otherwise, and that's actually the greatest way to be yeah introduced to stuff you don't know.
Discovered,
And
discovering. Yeah.
yeah, it's the discovery, but you also have it on Spotify as well, the discovery
yeah.
playlist,
So,
and
so how
yeah.
relevant is radio then? As in, I still speak to quite a lot of producers who say like radio is an end goal for me.
I
Uh,
mean, it's still the best way to reach the masses,
Yeah.
and
mm,
yeah, the rest is just really like segmented.
I think what you just said nailed it as well. It's like the DJs on the radio don't have the freedom. They're like very much, hey, you have to play. This is the playlist. You're gonna play this today. They don't have really
A lot
any
of the times,
room.
there's also this big discrepancy between what's being played on radio and what's being played on Spotify. And sometimes
mm-hmm.
I think, like, wow, how is this possible? What kind of
Yeah,
politics are behind
Yeah.
this? Because why,
yeah,
man?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then of course you see those artists they that are being played, they also play the big stages when it's like 538 King's Day, and yeah, you know, it's like these barter deals. Well, we will
yeah,
play your track on the radio, but you have to perform that and that day. And that's also probably something that will is going on.
yeah,
But for me, it's
Mm.
weird that when I see a track which does in 3 weeks' time 200,000 plays being played on the radio all of a sudden. So apparently, there's not a lot of people willing to play that track on their by free will.
yeah.
But the radio then thinks like,
It's
But
gonna be
uh,
shoved up their
I
ass.
remember
yeah,
that that used to be the case. And I remember we had in Holland Giel Belen, hate him or love him. He like he's a
he was
character, let's say.
authentic.
He's a character, but
Yeah.
he was someone that was like, "Hey, I like this stuff, and I'm gonna play it, and it's gonna
Mm.
be weird. People are not gonna know." And that's why in Holland we sometimes had, even because just of him, we had these weird electronic tracks that became hits because they were like, "Oh, let
Yeah.
fuck it, let's just
Ah,
play
but
it."
also 3FM The Glass House. Actually,
Yeah,
your track
Yeah.
Electric
Same thing.
Elephants became really big
true.
because of that. It
Yeah,
became like
because
this cult for that time. Yeah.
Giel Belen was like, "I like that track. Let's make it. Let's play it every hour or something."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were just like, That's not like being corporate. Hey, this is the playlist." No, they were like, "Hey, we love this.
Yeah.
Let's play it."
Well, Ralph,
Yeah,
what you mentioned, I wonder if that's still true. You said like radio is still the big platform to the masses, and I guess you're partly right. But I do think
It's less.
you're
Yeah.
well, you're reaching the masses from 30 and older, right? Like the
Yeah.
young people. If you want to reach the young crowd, which are mostly your audience as a DJ, those kids listen to music on probably Spotify, TikTok,
Yeah.
YouTube,
True.
SoundCloud. So that's probably where the discrepancy, what's the word? The difference is
Discrepancy.
between radio and what we see online is that that might be the youth, and this is like
Mm.
the old system.
Yeah. No,
Um,
it's less of an influence, but it's still important. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
let's be honest. Yeah. And you
yeah,
will reach a lot of people still. And of
true.
course, the mean of age is a little bit older than it used to be.
Yeah,
I have no clue. I mean, we're just throwing like 35 and upwards in here, but we have no clue. I
yeah.
mean, maybe we are dead wrong. Who knows?
I think it's also still for some people a sign of approval in some kind of way. That
Yeah.
if your track gets played on, let's say, Radio 5 to 8, it is a validation point for a lot of people.
It's a
Um,
metric and it's still an
yeah,
important one. And let's say there's this big event in I don't know where, Ridderkerk for all I care, and they're hosting a big event there, 10,000 people, free. Who are you gonna book? You just look at those kind of metrics, you know.
yeah, exactly.
You're not gonna deep dive in what's popping right now in the dance scene.
That is true. Okay, let's continue.
Community questions.
Dude,
Every week, I
that
already
thing is
put the
so
volume down.
loud. This
I already
is
put the
not
volume down.
compressed right.
Volume is an issue with Riverside, as in I when I listen back to the episodes, they're pretty soft in volume as well. I think not sure
It's
what's
not
happening.
a volume issue, it's a compression issue.
Yeah, but I'm not sure why that happens. But anyway, every week we take on community questions in this episode, questions that you can send in our Discord throughout the week, which we will answer in this live stream. And as always, we received questions as well. If you're listening right now in the chat and if you feel like, oh shit, I forgot to send it in, make sure to still do, because well, we have some time. There's like there's 6, 7 questions there, so 6, 7. Um, dude,
Ah,
my
tell me
oldest
you're
daughter
boomer
is
without
6, 7 all
which
day long.
side
I
is he
just
from?
get like crazy. Anyway, first question from Gasdrop. If I would release more tracks that are made from quantity, for quantity, I think. If I would release more tracks that are made for quantity, would you advise to put that tracks independently on Spotify and pay more to distributor to get it on Beatport, even if the mix and master is not that good, or put all the quantity tracks only on SoundCloud and YouTube?
Wait. Are
Yeah,
we? Is someone here? Like Gastrop? I have to. Even if the mix and master is not that good, no. If the mix and master is not that good, you make it good before you put it out. If you know, like, of course, if you think it's good, that's different. But if you know it's not what it could be yet, finish that shit first. That's really important. Like, I think if you do quantity over quality, still make sure you have like a certain
Base
minimum
quality.
of quality, like a certain, like, hey, it's at least it's good. It might not be a hit or it might not be catchy enough, but at least make sure that's good. That's just
that
what I'm gonna
quality, yeah.
say. The other thing about it is like, to put it on Spotify. I mean, I think the options are now so getting so easy to put stuff on Spotify. I think why not? But maybe start on SoundCloud. But that's yeah. I don't think it matters much. It just takes more time to get it out to Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. As in, yeah, I think quantity is important, but you should always protect the quality part of things. Don't just start putting things out for the sake of putting things out. You still need some quality control.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
and like if your mix and master is not that good and you're like, I don't know how to fix it, find someone who can. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Question from Mr. Mikey Foden. I'd love to go back to my question from last week with Ralph and Joey's perspective, but I'll word it slightly different. With growth as a producer, do you feel download gates for original non-cover bootleg releases instead of via a label as a strategy to get more reach is viable?
Yeah.
Okay, so with growth as a producer, do you feel download gates for original releases instead of via label? Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Hey,
why
both
not?
can. Hey, and it's also not a question. It's a or question, but it can also be and. We've done countless of times that a track we did, we released at a label, was also a free download on SoundCloud.
Is that
Why not?
something you have to negotiate with the label?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, and why would they go and agree with that? As in, you kind of cutting their sales, right?
Yeah, I know, but they also wanted to spread, and I mean, you can always kill the download gate if it really
Mm,
goes berserk. But I mean, whatever. A lot of people don't even bother; they just buy it, and
yeah,
it just needs to spread. And also a label, especially when you're working with them for the long run, they will understand it's also in their best interest for an artist to be as
yeah.
known. Yeah, to be
One
known with a lot of people.
one more thing I wanted to add, Mikey, is you mentioned like putting gates on those downloads. But there's two sides to that, because yes, gates are helpful because you gather information about your fans, which is helpful. I get that. But if you're building your career, if you're in the early start of your career, it might also be smart to consider having a low bar of entry for people, so that it's super easy for them to get in touch with your
No,
music.
that's true. But also, I mean, asking them to follow you is not too big of a hassle.
Yeah,
Just if
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but not that you have to jump through 12 hoops before you can
yeah.
download it. No way. Yeah.
No, that's what I wanted to mention. Like, if you're in the early phase of your career, like low bar of entry is important because you want to
Also, the
get as many
later
people as possible.
phase of your career. I mean,
Yeah,
what I've seen is that people's willingness to jump through hoops is not that big.
true. You need to convince people quite a lot to actually make them move for a second. Question from Atalo. How would you mix El Mariachi and Wizard the best way in a set? Both tracks are in G minor and 128 BPM.
I have no clue. I'm
Me
not
neither.
familiar with the arrangement anymore, but yeah, just try. If I think back of those days, what we usually would do is that you open with, or let's say mariachi, and then in the break you'll mash it up with some cool vocals, and then you drop the second drop, and then you'll mix it over into the intro. Maybe that's a
Um,
way. Yeah.
he also asked in the same line, best tips in routing mixer tracks in the mixer of FL when you are in the mixing stage. And do you mixing in another project file by rendering every track in audio files and importing them in a new project?
When you mix and
Is it
master.
part of the El Mariachi question or is it a separate question?
I think it's
Separate
El
question.
Mariachi question.
Yeah, I have no clue how to mix them actually. Just try
Yeah.
and make it sound cool. Yeah.
There's no real answer to that. Like, just trial and error, see what works best, and
At
yeah,
1 minute 30, start Wizard. And then
yeah, have no way.
it's I
Then
mean
stand on your hands.
beat match, it goes automatically, and then you have to basically the biggest decision if you play that kind of songs, am I gonna play one or two drops? That's what you have to figure out. And just put a auto cue if you have that on your CD players at the outro, so you can always only play one drop, and
Yeah.
you're not
I do
like,
remember
oh
that
no, it's
second
going into
buildup
the
of
second break, and I
that
don't
second
want
buildup
that.
of mariachi really worked. That was always like whoop, 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 whoop,
Yeah,
whoop, whoop,
yeah.
went really high. And yeah.
Um,
Okay. Question from Cedrin. I
Oh
recently
yeah, what's the
started.
second part of the question,
yeah, the
right?
second part is just a mixing question.
Yeah.
Um, I think it can be helpful to bounce everything in audio stems, then open it in a new project because then you well, it just makes the project way cleaner and you don't have any CPU
I used
problems.
to do it all the time, but now with my newest laptop, I have no CPU problems anymore, and now I don't bother anymore.
And
But it's
interesting,
really helpful to see what's happening.
yeah, also that. And
Yeah.
it just makes mixing it you mix differently. You start to think more about, hey, I have this sound, how can I change it
Yeah.
instead of, oh, I need to go into the preset and do things because
Hey,
it's like
apparently also is that how people make music? I've seen it a lot on the Instagram. Like, look at how I made my new track.
and then they only have the stems
Yes,
Only
and it's
audio.
called mix stems
that's
for
yeah.
that artist.
Yeah.
Also, what's funny is, and it's for all those kids that are have the newest PCs, you have to remember the hard times we came from. I remember finishing tracks like this. My CPU wouldn't be able at all anymore to even play a song for seconds. So I was like, change it, bounce the version, listen. Okay, that needs to be louder, a bit more EQ. Go back in the project,
Oh,
switch it, and then yeah. So now you know how
now
hard
I
our lives
understand.
were back in the day,
Now I
man.
understand. And you still use the same
Struggling,
computer then?
struggling artists, man. That's what we
Struggle
were,
artist. Yep.
man.
Now
Mental
I
Cedrin.
gotta
hell.
say, nowadays with all the possibilities, and you don't even have to buy the 4,000 euro laptop. It can also be like around 1,700, 1,800 euros. You have like a really good laptop. It's still a lot of money, but okay. And there's no problem with that. It's clear blue sky. No CPU shizzle. It's just
Yeah.
let's go.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
Question from Cedrin. I recently started making content for my music. I immediately saw that YouTube is so much easier to get views and make people interesting to my music, but on Instagram it's unbelievably hard. Do you think it gets with the time? Do you think it gets better with the time because the content is good, but I get only 200, 300 views? And do you have tips for marketing and promoting the music? Well, the 200-300 view ceiling is a familiar thing. I think you still have to keep feeding the algorithm, which simply means you need to start posting more relevant stuff that is relevant to your music and to your brand, because the algorithm might need more information to push your content to the right people. So volume is a thing there. And yeah, YouTube gives you better reach at the moment, and that's probably because they're promoting the whole short thing. So yeah, try to use it as much as possible. And YouTube is a monster of a platform, so don't underestimate it.
I
Yeah,
have a
Sorry.
tip. I have a tip. Get out of the
go.
rat race, man. Don't let anybody tell you like you have to make this much, and all these Instagram companies are pushing the content that tells you have to make more content because you're feeding their machine. I just want to get that out there. Um, you have to be aware of that because that is literally what Instagram, TikTok, all these companies are trying to get you to make constantly and look at stuff constantly. It's really like that's what we're all fighting for, your attention. Other than that, what I would suggest is focus on making stuff that you like and that you're like, hey, I would watch this. You know, I would watch this. I enjoy making it. That doesn't mean you're always gonna like making it, but you just have to push through then. But like, if you look at it that way, it becomes way more of a fun thing, and then it becomes an expression of yourself. And then, I mean, you hope the views will follow, but that might take just a long time. But I think if you make stuff that is unique and fun, eventually people will, yeah, how do you say, like, get into it.
Yeah, engage. But side note, volume is part of the deal, and that doesn't mean you should sell your
He works for all these.
for Meta. Yeah,
No,
I
but
get money
it's
for
like
this.
it's also like don't make your don't get out of the rat race. You know, it's all these
No,
people telling you
you
make
shouldn't
more, but it's
you shouldn't
watch
post
out for that.
content for the sake of posting content. You should always make sure it's authentic and that it's related to whatever thing that you like to make. But it is a rule: visibility beats talent, right? If you are more visible than anybody else, you will win,
Win
and
what?
you will become more successful because people
Why
recognize you.
is that the goal as an artist? You
For
want to
people who are
win
listening
in
to
it's
this
all
podcast, that is
competition
the
and it's.
goal.
I don't
Yeah.
think so. I don't think so. I don't think
If
as
you're
an
in the
artist
chat
it
right
should be your
now,
goal.
if you're in the chat right now, let us know what is the goal with your music. Are you in
Yeah.
this for the hobby or are you in this
No,
for making a living?
but that's if you're in it for making a living, get out. That shouldn't be your main.
Dude, that's what this
It
whole
shouldn't be.
podcast
That
is
should
about.
not be your main thing as an artist. As an artist, you want to create stuff and throw it out there. Yes, you have to make a living because you want to live. So of course you want to make money off your art, but it's the creation part that it's about. And I think it's
But
wrong if you're
that's
I just want to make money off my
no, that's not the
me
main
being an
reason.
artist.
But the main reason is like, hey, I know how to make music, but now I want to know how to make money from it and make a living from this so that I can pay my bills with my music. That's why people are listening.
Yeah, but
If
that's
that is
not the
why you're
main. It's
here,
not the main drive. It shouldn't
it's not
never
the
be the
main
main drive.
driver,
That's
but
what
the
I'm saying.
minute it's not the main driver, but the minute you decide I want to make a living from this, so I want to make this my income, the rules change and you have to deal with algorithms and you have
Ooh.
to deal with volume things and you have to deal with
Agreed, agreed.
invoices.
But um
That's what I say.
don't let it destroy your love of making it, and don't let it interfere with that part.
That's
See
what
it
I
as two
say. Don't
separate
sell
things.
your soul,
Yeah.
but volume
That's
still is part of the equation. As in, the more you post, and yes, it should be authentic, and yes, you should not sell your soul, but it is. The more you do, the more visibility you get, which means you will get more reach, which means more people will find out about you,
let
will listen to your
I fully
music.
Joe, I think I fully agree, but let's just view my thoughts as a side note. Just have that also present to have you to stay like mentally
It's present, but I think
sane.
you should word it differently, as in it's not all about the music anymore. That time is gone, unfortunately. And we need to be realistic with the fact that if you decide to make a living from this, if that's the
Mhm.
goal, you need to start doing content. And that is a thing. Like you have to deal with algorithms, you have to deal with Meta, with TikTok, with everything. It's there. It's not gonna disappear anytime soon. So it's the hard truth.
It's not a hard truth.
And if yeah, it is, because most artists don't want to hear that, because they want to hear it's all about music, which it's not, unfortunately.
It can be for you. Just don't
If it's a
expect.
hobby.
You should never expect also to make money off it. That's
No,
also
but
another thing. You can't be, oh, I'm gonna become a DJ. I'm gonna make money off it, and the rest of my life I'll be entitled to money because I work so hard or something. That's also a kind of a um yeah a dream. Like that doesn't really
yeah, but
make
it can
sense.
become a goal, right? Like for most artists, it's the dream to make a living from music and not make millions, but
Mm.
just make a paycheck. And if that's the goal, even if you just want to make 3,000 a month, it becomes a business and the rules change.
I think you guys made your point and not gonna
Yeah,
agree. But it's nice to
well,
be on
we
this
we
side
agree.
for once.
We
I feel
agree
like
on.
Joey.
I think we agree on like most of the things. It's just that the way of wording it is probably different. But
The
hopefully the
oh
audience gets it.
so important details is where you guys differ.
What?
You differ.
Elaborate, Ralph.
You
Elaborate.
differ on the oh so important details.
Yeah, depends.
It's a small disagreement, but it's a disagreement. And I think you guys should fight on the next episode, like a
Yeah,
boxing
Physically,
ring.
let's.
a fist fight.
Yeah. With boxing gloves.
um, yeah,
Let's do a
let's do
vote.
it.
And it's binding. And also, I'm the only one who can do these votes, I hope,
Okay.
or else it will backfire for me.
A
If
rap battle.
somebody wants to open a poll on the Discord which asks, should Joey and Jay Hardway physically fight next week? And if it gets more votes for yes than no, then you actually do it.
Upvoted. Yeah, it's like we can enter the manosphere right now.
Why not?
Question from Midnight Search. How many tracks should I release in a year? Please suggest. Someone said it took you 10 years and you are 20, 30 tracks behind. I laughed off at this, but now I was thinking how much should be a good number. Also, do you guys make extended? Okay, this is the second part. Let's start with the first part, which is how many tracks should I
Yeah,
release in a year?
you should
More,
release what you want to
more,
release. Yeah.
more.
Ooh. I
Always
mean,
more.
there's no number, but I mean,
Funny
the
enough,
more
it goes back to the past question. It's also a volume game.
definitely, yeah.
It's
The
but
more
it's
you release, the more chances you have
I
of
think
Yes.
getting a big hit.
we're very much on the same level, but it's a volume game, but it has so many nuances. You can't just be like, I'm gonna just put out as much music as I can.
No.
That's
And
not the
also,
answer.
these are
No.
all parts of a bigger vision which must uh, be laid down. I mean, you have an idea of what an artist should be, and that's the vision you have, and that's what you're going to strive for. I mean, why else do it? You don't want to be like somebody else because that already exists. Or you're going to be like her or him and be better or just a little bit different, or that's all fine. But it's all part of a bigger plan. And not all artists release a lot of music, but strategically, there's a point being made for release as much as you can. The bigger the chances you have that you'll score a big hit. Yeah.
That's the point I want to make, as in that vision is super important. Your authentic self is super important, and you should never trespass that border because you don't want to sell your soul. But it will always remain the same that more visibility will beat simple talent. As in, you could be the best producer on the planet, but if you don't release music or if you just put out one song a year, you simply decrease your chances of being discovered. And if you would put out 10 tracks a year, that would give you 10 times the amount of being discovered. Make that 20 and it's 20 times, right? So that's why I mean it's a volume game.
Yeah.
That the more you
Yeah, I
put
think,
out
but
in
that's
music or in
it's a
content,
volume
the
game.
more
Is
opportunities you create to get discovered in a good way, and not
yes,
because you do TikTok dances, but no, because you actually made this
but
type of music, or because this is your personality, or that's why I think it's a volumes game.
I think the sentence "it's a volume game" narrows it down to just that, and it's so much more than that. So I
It's
think
both.
I
It's
I fully agree, but it's not just a volume game. That's what
No, it's
I'm
both.
kind
It's
of.
authenticity and a volume game together.
Yeah. But I mean, in this being an artist thing, also the word art is in artist. So it's also art. It's something that comes from within. It's expression. Then all other metrics and whatsoever don't count. But okay, being realistically, you want to make this your hobby into your job, and then other factors come into play. And this could be one of those strategies. But I do agree with Jobke. You're going to be really frustrated if your goal is to make money or a living from it. That's not the driver you want it to be. Because, oh man, you're going to be frustrated as fuck because a lot of
Yeah.
shit will not go as planned. And that's why I think the main driver should be what's in here and wants to get out. You want to express.
Yeah, you
And
want to
then
have
you can
fun.
and then you can be a
Y-
little bit strategic about certain stuff.
I think you should be strategic, and I think you should have like, hey, you want to make money off it, but I think you should have the thought of, hey, if this all doesn't work out, and in 2 years or 5 years I have done all that, am I going to be happy with doing all that? Am I going to be like, hey, I made the most of it and I expressed myself and I felt like I was an artist? I didn't make it. And I think if the answer to that is yes, then that's very important. Yeah, you
Okay.
just really want to, yeah.
Lion
Mhm.
Harris for Ralph. Any new production related tips or stuff you stumbled across the last weeks you could share, or nothing new yet?
No, nothing new. Yeah, I just like producing nowadays a lot. I think the possibilities are endless. Yeah, so I mean, there's so much good stuff out there. I now had a plugin called Fresh Air, which you just put on, and then you have this big knob and gives some freshness in the top, and it works, man. It's
It's
really
like
on
an
your
exciter,
synths.
or
No, it just adds freshness. I think a little bit of high frequencies. I don't know how it does. Maybe some little bit of compression.
hmm,
And yeah, I like it. Sometimes you just miss those like whispering highs, and yeah. And also, I really like a lot of the music that's being put out there. And yeah, I think the dance landscape is in a really good condition. And producing is just so much fun. And also, I don't know who I talked about it. Was it also with you, Jobke? That the workflow is, or maybe I no, I think it was with Wouter from Showtech. I've been there last week, and the whole workflow is so much different. You just open stuff like Splice. There's presets in there, synths, all these great samples. You guys know I use a lot of Vengeance samples as well. I like mixing the old with the new. but the whole workflow is so easy. You don't have to open your separate Windows Explorer and then and see how to you can load in stuff. You can just grab them, put them in there, open two FL Studios at the same time, bounce, do it all. It's so easy. It's
Yeah.
so nice. Your workflow is like
It's
crazy quick.
it's amazing also for my head because I sometimes like, oh, then I need to do that as well, but then I'm still dragging something else in, and I'm like, oh, I will put reverb on it later because now I hear this thing I
Yeah.
need to search for, and then you're searching for samples, and then so
It's
I
not a good thing for people who have ADHD because you're gonna go
you
all
need to
these
make sure
things.
to
Yeah.
not get too sidetracked, and I
Oh
think that's
man, I've side quests all the time,
yeah, but
all the
partly it's a
time.
good thing. Partly it's a good thing, but just sometimes redirect yourself back to what you're actually doing.
The amount that I have I'm working on a track and then I hear something. I'm browsing through stuff and like, oh shit, this is cool. Then up, this track is here. I start later in the sequencer, so let's go like here, and I make something here. I totally forget about it later. It's always there. Sometimes I think like, ah, shit, I made that. I cannot
Yeah,
find it anymore.
yeah.
But it's just boom, 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 boom. But
Or you
the
turn the layer off.
possibilities,
You turn like a layer off, and then later you turn it on, and like that was the juice I was missing, and I produced it 2 hours ago, and it's
yeah,
awesome.
Well,
no,
thank
but
God that
yeah.
50% of the producers have ADHD, so that's probably going to work out well.
Oh, I actually thought otherwise. I mean, being a producer, that you're a little more an autistic person than ADHD.
Yeah, a lot of them classify in ADHD, I must say, or
Okay,
HDD. What's the other one?
because you
HDD,
have to
right?
sit down and actually be focused, and yeah.
Yeah. Question from Sheriff Vlogs. What's your thoughts on the no phone policy events? I've noticed the DJs that tend to have a dead crowd come from house music and melodic techno. This doesn't happen in bass music like drum and bass, for example, and it's always the same minimal tech house DJs like Pasa from Solid Grooves. He always had a dead crowd. Whenever I read the comments, people say the music is boring and has no energy compared to something like Big Room, EDM before the pandemic. So I guess the question is, what's your thoughts on no phone policy events? I think it's a great thing, to be
It's
It's
honest.
awesome.
good, but to be honest, also Big Room and I mean, at certain point, shows became more cinematic and
Hmm.
visually really enhanced, and and actually the rave identity got a little bit lost. Um, but nowadays, I really like the no phone policy. Also gives you a bit more of a vibe that you're free. I think it's safer. Also, I
Yep.
don't want to be filmed all the time. It's nice that you know that you're not being recorded and you can
Yeah,
just dance however you want. You don't want to become the next meme. Not
Yeah.
that the chances are that big that it will happen, but
Everyone
still,
is
yeah,
well,
just more in the moment, and I think for the new generation, that's a good thing to experience. I
yeah.
think we've
But
experienced it, but
yeah, I think when the intensity of the music is higher and it asks more of the people in terms of action, then you tend to film less. And of course, when the BPMs are a little bit lower, and I think it's easier that I mean, you're just a little bit doing like this, maybe a head bump, and maybe it's easier to grab your phone. I have no idea. It's just my own stupid thoughts, but yeah, I think when you see the harder styles or like drum and bass, it actually asks you to really move and uh, be less busy with other stuff. It's
yeah,
more demanding maybe for somebody who listens to it. And also like tech house and what you saw with the Afro house. We've all seen the kind of music stuff. And maybe also at Black Coffee, that was so popular with everybody. That was not per se a dance crowd. They were more the we want to
influencer
see
crowd.
and be seen crowd,
yeah,
and that's
yeah,
also
yeah.
fine. That's with
And
every niche that gets that popular faces
the
those kind
setting
of problems.
the setting matters and the warm up matters and a lot of things, more things matter than you might consider. I went to Rufus du Sol last year at AFAS Live here, and AFAS Live is, I think, a very boring box of a venue. It's like it's just a square box basically, and Rufus played good, and they do a lot of live stuff, which is awesome. But it just for me didn't really do it because of that setting. And I can imagine if you see them live on a festival and the sun is shining, it's so different. And I think that's why
Also
sometimes yes,
depends on the production they bring because you
true.
guys know I'm a big fan of Klang Künstler, and I mean he made the Ziggo Dome look really
Yeah, but the
cool.
Ziggo Dome is already different from AFAS Live, I think. AFAS is
Is
way
AFAS
smaller.
the big? Oh, that's a smaller
It's a
one.
small. That was the Heineken
Yeah.
Music Hall.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah, but
it's just to
still, I
say
mean,
that
if you bring your
sometimes.
own production, what Outworld by Klankkunstler does, then it's a totally different thing.
Experience. True, true.
Yeah, it's part
Um,
of the experience, and I know
Definitely
about people who also went to the Rufus du Sol, and they actually also faced that a lot of people actually only went to their concert because of Inner Bloom.
yeah,
That track
yeah,
actually
uh-huh,
then
uh-huh,
the whole venue exploded, but for the rest it was just mellow.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like I see in the question like a lot about, oh, these house sets it don't work or that. There's a time and place for every genre, and that's
Definitely.
why some like the sets. Let's say Mao P plays, and he plays amazing sets, but there are
Ooh,
you could put him in places where that music won't work if you have a hard techno set, and
that's
then
for every genre. That is,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's just good to
If you have seen
remember. So
like Ben Böhmer or Lane 8 playing stuff somewhere, you have the circular sets on all these cool location. That really works, and it's really mellow
yeah.
music. I actually like
There's
to
this
listen to it quite a lot.
there's this set of Rufus du Roll on Burning Man in the middle of the desert, which is like a super small stage, and Black Coffee is also playing there. Super small stage, and but the
It just
setting
works.
itself is just amazing, right? Like it's
Yeah.
the desert where it all plays, which makes it amazing. So I think the setting really helps with how you experience the music. It's the same with wine and stuff, right? Like if you drink a glass of wine in Italy, it tastes different than you drink it back home.
No, that's actually not true, but the experience is
It is.
different. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
and does
It's
the
actually
Question.
taste
that's
different?
actually you fooling yourself a little
No,
bit.
no,
But
no,
no.
but no, that's
Yeah.
actually scientifically backed, and even like that the experience actually changed the taste. Even if you have a, let's say, a water and you add color to it, it will taste different to you.
because
Same water, but
because
that's
your eyes see something
Mm.
different.
yeah, you trick yourself constantly. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Last one from Future. I saw Joran Herring has recently left spinning. What was your experience working with him, and do you have any stories or lessons you learned from him? And do you know who's leading A&R at spinning right now?
Jorn is the legend of spinning and even of my career. He helped me so much when I was just getting started. And what I always loved about him was he didn't care about the number game. That was like his bosses made him talk about that. But he was like, "Hey, I feel this. I feel this and that. I feel this song." Even if I just had a melody, and he would be like, "Hey, I feel it." And the, finish it. And I always really appreciated working with him. Also because I think there's no ego with him, and he's like he doesn't care about fame and stuff. He just he's a very pure person. So I always really loved
He's
working
been there
with him in
for
A&R.
what, 15, 20 years?
Yeah, something like 25 years or something. I think
Wow, that's
from
insane.
almost from the beginning. And I don't know who's A&R now. Actually, it's been in. So
Me neither.
No, yeah, I think I do, but I don't remember his
is
name.
it
But
Robert
I
John?
no, not Robert Jan. Yeah,
Then I
I
don't know.
always called him Clark Kent. He looks a little bit like Clark Kent.
Roemer.
He's a, no.
No, he's no.
He's a cool guy though.
Hmm.
We've been to Germany with them. We had a fun time. But Joren, absolute legend. He was the first A&R we ever spoke to. Uh, he's also like really authentic, and I totally had the same experience as Jobke. Um, yeah, he had a mind of his own, and he didn't care. But if you look at him, I mean, uh, he's more into also like Nirvana, the whole '90s grunge phase he likes, and rock, and yeah, a, a really good hearing for tracks, and we listened to him quite a lot of the times when we were arranging radio edits,
Yeah.
and yeah, he was right quite a lot of the times,
Yeah.
and not me, because we had differences of opinions quite a lot of the time, and it's also nice when somebody is just being chill about that, you know.
Yeah, like very professional. Also, when it turns out you're right or the other way around, it wouldn't be any issue. It would just be like, yeah, yeah, just good, just very professional.
You guys have anything to shill?
To chill.
J Hardway live set on YouTube. Go check it out. 11 unreleased tracks, and one of them is coming soon. So yeah.
I still have to
I
check
see
it.
here now Robert-Jan Voorbraak is A&R at Spinnin. I didn't know.
Hmm.
He's also a cool guy. Known him
Very,
for
yeah.
I don't know how long. Anything to chill? Yeah, probably I do. There's a track coming out, but I don't know when. Not this week, so I'll chill for next week.
Okay. Make sure to check out information about the retreat, which is in the
Are
chat,
you
and also
eating something right now?
yeah, Smint.
You couldn't wait for a minute.
No, can you hear it?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can
It
hear
sounds
it.
gross.
Oh, that's probably because of the AirPods then.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. No, it's
check out
because
the
you're eating.
information. Yeah, because it's in my ear.
Yeah.
It's because you're eating.
Make sure to
Mhm.
check it out on the link in the description. Only a few spots left, and we will be back next week, same time, same day. Don't forget to join our Discord if you're not part of it yet. That link is also in the description. You will be joined by 800 plus other producers, DJs, artists in there. So can't wait to meet you. Have a good day, everybody. Bye bye.